The pentacle, a five-pointed star enclosed in a circle, serves as a central emblem in Wicca and modern neo-pagan practices. Each point represents one of the five elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, while the surrounding circle symbolizes unity and the eternal cycle of life. Beyond its geometric elegance, the pentacle is used in rituals, meditation, and magic to focus intention, invoke protection, and maintain harmony with nature. Its origins trace back to ancient European symbolism, where the star was associated with cosmic balance and divine order. Within contemporary Wiccan practice, the pentacle reminds practitioners that spiritual life is inseparable from the natural world, guiding them toward ethical interaction with both humanity and the environment. 2. Triple Moon. Goddess Symbol. The triple moon symbol embodies the divine feminine through its three lunar phases: the waxing moon as the maiden, the full moon as the mother, and the waning moon as the crone. This imagery is central to many modern goddess-focused traditions, reflecting fertility, creativity, wisdom, and the natural cycles of life. The maiden represents youthful potential and new beginnings. The mother embodies nurturing and abundance, and the crone symbolizes deep wisdom and the mysteries of transformation. Across cultures, the moon has long been a source of guidance and intuition, and the triple moon captures this reverence, encouraging practitioners to honor the rhythms of life and the sacred power inherent in all stages of existence. 3. Ankh, Pinnacle Fusion. In some modern esoteric and neo-pagan circles, the Ankh, Pinnacle Fusion blends two powerful symbols: the Egyptian Ankh, representing life and immortality, and the pentacle, representing spiritual balance and the elements. This hybrid symbol expresses the human desire to unify the physical and spiritual dimensions of life, bridging ancient Egyptian reverence for eternal life with European occult traditions of elemental harmony. It is often used in ritual contexts as a talisman for vitality, spiritual protection, and guidance on the journey towards self-realization. The fusion highlights how symbols evolve, crossing cultures and centuries, to meet the spiritual needs of contemporary seekers. 4. Eye in the Triangle. The eye in the triangle, often referred to as the Eye of Providence, is an emblem of divine watchfulness, insight, and spiritual illumination. Its roots appear in Christian iconography and Renaissance art, but the motif resonates universally as a symbol of vigilance, wisdom, and enlightenment. The eye suggests that the divine observes human intentions, guiding morality and encouraging introspection. The triangle, representing the triune nature of the divine or the unity of mind, body, and spirit, reinforces the spiritual significance of the symbol. In many traditions, the eye in the triangle becomes a reminder that spiritual awakening involves both external observation and internal clarity. 5. Medicine Wheel. North America. The medicine wheel is a sacred symbol used by many Native American nations to represent the interconnectedness of all life. Divided into 4 quadrants, often associated with the 4 directions, for seasons, or 4 stages of life, it serves as a guide for balance, harmony, and spiritual growth. Historically, stone circles marked sacred sites where rituals, council meetings, and healing ceremonies were performed. Each quadrant embodies specific teachings about character, relationships, and connection to the natural world. The medicine wheel reflects a worldview in which humans are participants in the larger cycles of the universe, emphasizing the ethical and spiritual responsibility to live in harmony with the earth, ancestors, and community. 6. Caduceus. The caduceus, a staff entwined with 2 serpents and topped with wings, originates from Greek mythology as the staff of Hermes, messenger of the gods. It represents commerce, negotiation, and communication, but over time it has also become associated with medicine and healing. In its symbolic layers, the intertwined serpents evoke duality, balance, and transformation, while the wings signify spiritual elevation and divine guidance. The caduceus is a reminder that human interaction, like the snakes, must be balanced and ethical, and that commerce, knowledge, and healing are all part of a sacred order connecting the mundane and divine. 7. Laurel wreath. The laurel wreath, known from ancient Greece and Rome, honors victory, achievement, and divine favor. Crafted from the branches of the laurel tree, sacred to Apollo, it was awarded to poets, athletes, and warriors as a mark of excellence. Beyond its material use, the circular shape of the wreath embodies eternity, the cyclical nature of success, and the enduring recognition of human virtue. In modern times, the laurel wreath continues to symbolize accomplishment, but its ancient roots remind us that achievement, when aligned with moral and spiritual purpose, connects human effort to divine grace. 8. Trident. The trident, associated with Poseidon in Greek mythology and Neptune in Roman tradition, symbolizes mastery over the seas, control of natural forces, and the ability to impose order on chaos. Its three prongs are sometimes interpreted as representing creation, preservation, and destruction, universal forces that shape life. The trident reflects humanity's recognition of the power of nature and the need for both respect and wisdom in interacting with it. Spiritually, it embodies divine authority and the balance required to govern both internal and external worlds. 9. Cornucopia. The cornucopia, or horn of plenty, originates from Greek and Roman myth, often linked to the nurturing goat Amalthea or the abundance of the harvest. It symbolizes nourishment, prosperity, and the divine provision that sustains life. Often overflowing with fruits and grains, it reminds humanity that abundance is both a gift and a responsibility, highlighting the relationship between humans and the cycles of the earth. In spiritual reflection, the cornucopia becomes a metaphor for gratitude, generosity, and the blessings that flow when life aligns with ethical and cosmic order. 10. Druze star. The Druze star, a five-pointed symbol with each point colored differently, represents fundamental cosmic principles such as wisdom, truth, nature, the soul, and unity. Within the Druze faith, it conveys the interdependence of these principles in guiding human conduct and spiritual development. Each color carries its own teaching, and together, they form a holistic map of ethical and mystical life. The star emphasizes that spiritual understanding is not abstract. It must manifest through harmonious living, intellectual integrity, and reverence for divine order. 11. Ankh. The Ankh, or Key of Life, is one of the most iconic symbols of ancient Egypt, representing immortality, life force, and divine protection. Often depicted in the hands of gods or pharaohs, it signifies the flow of life between earthly and divine realms. The Ankh embodies the Egyptian worldview in which existence is sacred and cyclical, connecting human experience with spiritual continuity. In meditative practice, it can serve as a visual reminder of the eternal nature of the soul and the sacredness inherent in all living beings. 12. Eye of Horus. The Eye of Horus, or Wedjat, is an ancient Egyptian emblem of protection, healing, and restoration. Its mythological origin comes from the story of Horus losing his eye in battle and having it restored, symbolizing regeneration and wholeness. Used as an amulet, it guards against harm while also promoting insight and spiritual clarity. The Eye of Horus represents the belief that the divine watches over humanity, offering guidance and healing, while teaching that life's trials can ultimately lead to growth and renewal. 13. Scarab beetle. In ancient Egypt, the scarab beetle symbolized rebirth, transformation, and the eternal cycle of life. Observing the beetle rolling dung balls across the ground, Egyptians connected it to the sun god Ra and the movement of the sun across the sky. Scarab amulets were often buried with the dead to ensure safe passage into the afterlife. Spiritually, the scarab teaches humans about resilience, transformation, and the sacred rhythm of existence, showing that life is constantly renewed through struggle, effort, and the guidance of higher forces. 14. Djed Pillar. The Djed Pillar represents stability, endurance, and the backbone of Osiris, the Egyptian god of the afterlife. Often used in funerary art and ritual, it signifies eternal strength and the structure that upholds life, both physically and spiritually. The pillar also embodies moral and cosmic order, reminding humanity that a firm foundation, ethical, spiritual, and communal, is essential to withstand life's challenges and connect with the divine. 14. Djed Pillar. The Djed Pillar represents stability, endurance, and the backbone of Osiris, the Egyptian god of the afterlife. Often used in funerary art and ritual, it signifies eternal strength and the structure that upholds life, both physically and spiritually. The pillar also embodies moral and cosmic order, reminding humanity that a firm foundation, ethical, spiritual, and communal, is essential to withstand life's challenges and connect with the divine. 15. Scepter. The scepter, carried by gods and pharaohs in ancient Egypt, symbolizes power, authority, and dominion over earthly and spiritual realms. Its long shaft and forked base represent both control and guidance, emphasizing the responsibility that accompanies power. Spiritually, it reflects the human aspiration to align governance, wisdom, and action with higher principles, ensuring that authority is exercised in service of cosmic and ethical order. 16. Torii Gate. The Torii Gate, a defining feature of Shinto shrines in Japan, marks the boundary between the sacred and the ordinary. Passing through a torii signifies leaving the mundane behind and entering a space imbued with divine presence. Its simple yet elegant structure embodies humility, reverence, and the human desire to approach the sacred mindfully. Beyond its architectural function, the torii is a spiritual metaphor. It invites reflection on the thresholds in life, moments when one must leave old ways behind and align with higher truth. 17. Shimenawa. Shimenawa are sacred ropes adorned with zigzag paper streamers called shurta, used in Shinto tradition to demarcate purified spaces and ward off malevolent forces. Hanging these ropes signals the presence of kami, or divine spirits, and emphasizes the human responsibility to maintain spiritual cleanliness. Shimenawa teach that spiritual vigilance and ritual observance are ways to connect with the divine, purify intentions, and live in harmony with the sacred energies of the world. 18. Mirror Kagami. In Shinto, the sacred mirror, or kagami, symbolizes truth, clarity, and reflection. Revered as one of Japan's imperial regalia, it represents the sun goddess Amaterasu and serves as a conduit between human perception and divine reality. The mirror is more than an object. It is a spiritual tool encouraging self-awareness, honesty, and recognition of one's inner light. Meditating on the mirror fosters a dialogue between the human and divine, reflecting the principle that enlightenment begins with clarity and moral integrity. 19. 3 Imperial Regalia. The mirror, sword, and jewel, Japan's 3 imperial regalia, embody wisdom, valor, and benevolence, essential qualities of righteous leadership. Together, they connect the emperor to the divine and symbolize the responsibilities of guiding society with moral and spiritual insight. These regalia reflect a culture in which human governance is inseparable from cosmic order, and where spiritual legitimacy is expressed through ethical and symbolic representation of divine principles. 20. Magatama. Magatama are kama-shaped jewels sacred in Japan, representing vitality, spirit, and the connection between humans and kami. Often included in Shinto rituals and the imperial regalia, these stones emphasize the energy of life itself and the need for spiritual attunement. Their curved form suggests continuity and flow, reminding humanity that vitality and spiritual awareness must circulate harmoniously through one's life and community. 21. Crescent and Star. The crescent moon and star, widely associated with Islam, symbolize divine guidance and illumination in a spiritually dark world. The crescent reflects the waxing potential of human devotion, while the star points toward God's light and the path of righteousness. Beyond its visual elegance, the symbol encapsulates the human yearning for connection with a higher power, the discipline of faith, and the moral navigation through the challenges of earthly existence. 22. Calligraphic Allah. In Islamic tradition, the written words of Allah or the Shahada are sacred symbols themselves. Writing and displaying these calligraphic forms is an act of devotion, reinforcing the submission of the self to God. The beauty of the script reflects both divine perfection and human creativity, showing that artistic expression can serve as a bridge between the finite and the infinite. In this sense, faith becomes both intellectual and sensory, linking mind, heart, and hands in spiritual practice. 23. Eight-pointed Rub el-Hizb. The eight-pointed Rub el-Hizb is a geometric symbol that conveys order, completeness, and spiritual harmony within Islamic culture. Often appearing in Quranic manuscripts and architectural motifs, it represents balance between earthly life and divine law. Its structure encourages reflection on human life as part of a larger, divinely ordered cosmos, highlighting the interdependence of ethics, ritual, and spiritual understanding. 24. Tasbih beads. Tasbih beads are used for dhikr, the repetitive remembrance of God in Islamic devotion. Each bead serves as a tactile guide for reflection, humility, and spiritual discipline. Engaging with the beads cultivates mindfulness and patience, transforming ordinary moments into opportunities for spiritual alignment. The practice underscores the principle that continuous remembrance of the divine integrates faith into the rhythms of daily life. 25. Star of David. The Star of David, a six-pointed star, symbolizes divine protection and the connection between God and humanity. Its overlapping triangles represent the union of earthly and spiritual realms, male and female energies, or God's presence encompassing creation. Historically, it has also marked community identity and resilience. Spiritually, it reminds believers that protection and moral guidance flow from alignment with divine principles, uniting human action with sacred purpose.